timing was right. We had it right before. We had it the Friday night before the Oscars, and the timing was right. Everything. Are you waiting for us to shut up?
No,
oh.
we gotta put the button.
Oh, all right.
Okay, go.
Well, Neil, it's very nice to see you again, and
Thank you.
particularly under these circumstances, because you and Marcia together have 7 Academy nominations.
Really?
Yeah, she has 3, you have 4.
Right, yes.
You didn't know that, Neil?
I never thought of the number 7.
Oh, I see, okay. And if my hunches mean anything, I'd say you're going for 8.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful motion picture. Of course, it was originally The Gingerbread Lady.
A play, yes.
A play. And when did that come out?
I believe the year was 1970. It's about 10, 11 years ago.
And who played it then?
It played on Broadway with Maureen Stapleton, who won the Tony Award for it. Betsy von Furstenberg, an actress, played the part that Joan Hackett played. I can't recall the names of the other people. We never had anyone, not to disparage the young girl who played it, but no one of the quality of Christy McNichol, and I think that's why the play suffered. We originally had a girl in it that we fired and used the understudy, and the understudy really wasn't as accomplished an actress, and so the play never really had the evenness that this does in the confrontation scenes between the mother and the daughter, because Christy is just a superb actress.
That she is.
Yeah.
Why did you change the title for the film?
Because there was a reference to the Gingerbread Lady in a statement that the young girl made that I took out because I rewrote so much of it. There's only about 15% of the words left in the Gingerbread Lady in Only When I Laugh, so it made no sense, the Gingerbread Lady. Only When I Laugh, to me, represented the laughter through the bitterness that this picture deals with.
The picture has an R rating. Neil, why? I can't understand why it has an R rating.
There are 2 or 3 4-letter words, and that's the rating system. It seems silly to me, but I don't bother fighting it because I don't think it's ultimately that important. But I think it really is ironic, as you probably heard so many times, that when you see pictures of such incredible violence that get PG ratings, when this picture that has almost no violence at all, and has these 3 words, that brings an R rating.
But they're so inconsistent, Neil, because there have been other films with at least one of those words that came out with a PG.
Really?
Yes.
I wasn't aware of that. They told me if you said it once, you get an R. That was it. And they came to me, the studio came to me, and they said, is it worth an R to you to leave these words in? And I said, certainly. I don't care about the rating. I must go with what is true to the character. I mean, they're not said for shocking effect. They're said because it was so important to say. It was the right word at the right time to say. They were very, almost poignant at the time they were said.
Neil, when you rewrote this, you had Marcia in mind, of course, didn't you?
No.
Didn't you
Oh,
really?
I never have anybody in mind. I just wrote it. I write the character because there's always the possibility because films are always done 1.5 years, 2 years in advance. I mean, the preparation for it. So when I was writing it, I had no idea if Marcia would be busy, if she would be doing another film, if she would want to do this film. I knew I wanted to write it, no matter who was going to do it. Then I showed it to Marcia, and of course I wanted her, and I said, how do you feel about doing this? And she read it, and we had talked about it earlier, a couple of years before, and she said, no, I just don't think I'm ready for that. This was following The Goodbye Girl, and she said, I'd like to wait a few years before I ever tackled something like that. And so when we talked about it last year, she says, yes, I would like to do it now.
Do you think it's Marcia's best work?
Oh, by far, by far. And I think everything she does is superb because she's such a believable actress. But this role affords her the greatest range that she's ever had before.
I quite agree.
Yeah.
And Neil, I'm just sure she'll get an Academy nomination. I'm on record now. I have said
Well,
it.
enough of the people of the press that what we've spoken to lately have all concurred with that feeling. I would like to think so and hope so, yeah.
How important would that be? Now, Marcia has had 3 nominations, and you have had 4 nominations. And how important is that to you and to Marcia that she be nominated and hopefully win?
It's important that we get nominated because you would really like to be recognized for something that you've done very well. It is, strangely enough, not as important that you win, because that gets to be sort of a popularity contest. It also gets to be who else came out in another kind of role that was as strong or as sympathetic. The nomination is the one that comes from your peers. So, in other words, all of the actresses and actors would have nominated Marcia, whereas the industry as a whole votes for the winner. And so that gets into politics, it gets into a lot of other things. A great many winners I concur with, some winners I think were ridiculous, I don't know. But the nomination is important because it is some sort of recognition. It shouldn't be too important in your life because I've seen enough people get stopped by winning an Academy Award and having it throw them for a number of years to say, how do I live up to this?
And how about you yourself winning one?
Be fine with me. I got the tuxedo at home. I'll go out there anytime they call.
You know, I said that to Jack Lemmon when he first came out with Tribute. I said, Jack, do you have your tuxedo ready to go? He says, you mean it? He says, another chance to lose?
I sat with him, sat right next to him the night that he won for Save the Tiger, I think. And it was wonderful because Jack is one of the most self-effacing, quiet people I've ever met. Off stage, off camera, and he sat there and they said, and the winner, Jack Lemmon, and there was this explosion of happiness and joy, and everybody feels it for Jack because they all love him so much, but you could feel that energy just, you know, come right next to you.
Neil, there now is such an explosion in the interest of video. I'm thinking in terms of cassettes and all that, and cable and everything. Yeah. And now that you're into producing, you're more than just a writer now. You've got to look at the big picture. Is that a concern of yours? And if so, how are you planning for the long-range future?
Well, I'm really not planning for the long-range future. I do so much work, and I do work in the theater as well as motion pictures. I've had enough of the material rewards over the years to satisfy me, so there is no reason for me to look into what is bigger. I mean, I always wonder about the philosophy of the J. Paul Gettys of saying, well, I bought France and England, you know, maybe I can buy Italy now. It doesn't interest me. What I really would like to do is to do better and better work. This picture really pleases me because, in a sense, I feel it's my best work. So I am more interested in what story can I write about, what character can I write about, what vehicle can I do, not what medium can I get the best exposure, can I reach more people, make more money. That is the second and third. Maybe if I were younger and didn't have some of the success that I had before, I might be looking in that area. But I just want to keep doing my own work.
Neil, one last question. The mother character, is it multiple choice? Elaine Stritch, Maureen Stapleton, Judy Garland, or anybody I haven't mentioned?
Well, you can add a list. I mean, I don't know those women except Maureen well enough to say it's any of those people. It's not any specific person. It is the hundreds and hundreds of people I met in and out of show business who have either an alcohol problem, a drug problem, or any kind of problem which is self-defeating, self-destructive. Something that stops them from attaining the goals or the happiness that they would like, because there are varied and many complicated and psychological reasons why this comes about. But I never use any particular one person in mind, especially when I'm dealing with something as personal as this. The Judy Garland thing, I never knew. That got into the press because she was a singer in the original play production. I never thought about Judy Garland really at all because I knew nothing about her private life with her daughters and her other struggles except the unfortunate, you know, incidents with alcohol, etc.
Neil, congratulations again on an absolutely super movie.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Come Academy Award night, I'll be looking for both of you.
Oh, good, okay, I'll wear my tuxedo.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Good.
All right, now then, I will just turn it around this way and do some reverses. Neil, you don't need to move or do
Okay.
anything. Just do whatever you want to do. All right, and you're cutting about like so, about here?
Yeah.
Okay. You're not,
I can take him out, can I?
sure, yeah, because I talk to doorknobs all the time. All right, I'll give you some reactions first. All right, questions? Neil, between you and Marcia, you have 7 Academy nominations. You have 4, she has 3. I think you're going to go for an 8th. How about that? Why did you change the title? Originally, when it was a play on Broadway, it was The Gingerbread. Why did you change the title? Originally, the play was The Gingerbread Lady. Were you surprised when the movie got an R rating? Why does the movie have an R rating? But the thing is, they're so inconsistent because I know of one case where at least one of those words was in the film and it came out PG. All right. When did the play come out? And who was starring in the play? Do you think this is the best thing Marcia has ever done? You think she has a good chance for an Academy Award this time? How important is it to you and Marcia to win an Oscar? You have 7 nominations between you. Neil, now that you're into producing as well as writing plays and screenplays, are you looking into the long-range future and planning for this explosion in video cassettes and all those kinds of things, cable? Okay, give me just 1 second to look this over. Okay. Neil, Marcia's character, is it Maureen Stapleton, Elaine Stritch, Judy Garland, or none of the above? Okay, that should do it.